So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another podcast of the week. And I thought I'd wake your sleepy brain up with the stuff that you might have ignored during the week. And of course, I'm your messenger of doom and gloom. So without further ado, folks, let's just get into the god-awful woke stories that emerged from Hollywood this week. So remember, people, we are normies, but in entertainment La La Land, it really is, as Bucks Fizz once sang, a land of make-believe. So the first story to kick things off is America Ferrera. Now, she seems like a likable actress and lady. She's also known for playing Ugly Betty. And since then, she's voiced the character, and I forgot what the character's name is, in How to Train Your Dragon. You know, the one who's going to be race swapped eventually for the big screen with Thandie Newton's no talent daughter in the lead role. But now, what is she talking about? Well, apparently, there's no improvement for Latinos in Hollywood. They are anomalies. These moments where Latinos get to shine. So, first of all, it's Latinos, and later on in the article, she talks about Latinas. In the latest demonstration of the glass half empty worldview held by many such activists, Barbie co-star America Ferrera believes that despite the very noted and public successes of the demographic in recent decades. What? So the guy from Cobra Kai was in Blue Beetle, a film that people talked about for 24 hours and then suddenly they never spoke about it ever again. Because of course in that movie, what's the first thing that our lead character's doing? Eating a taco. So well done, Hollywood, for reinforcing this stereotype right there. Ho, ho, ho. Why she's bringing this up, she was invited to be by the BBC, so that kind of makes sense, and she's included in the list of 100 inspiring and influential women around the world. Wasn't it a woman who recently ran Wilco into the ground and she had to give this humiliating apology in front of the panel, and then like a few hours later you had a middle-aged white guy who took over Wilco and has reopened the franchise again. So all those people that lost their jobs and thought they were going to go to a career of nothing out there suddenly got that call saying, you're all coming back. So it takes a guy to basically to undo what a woman has done before him. You know, why do I say that? Because I can. And, you know, just seeing what America Ferrera is talking about here, and, you know, this actually did make me laugh as well. There's a particular quote that, it sounds like a dig at somebody. It took so long because the opportunities don't exist, she told the BBC. They do. They exist for all diversities out there. I know, what's her name again? That really, Viola Davis. She had that diatribe moment where like, oh, well, Meryl Streep and Julianne Moore all trained at Juilliard and they got bigger and better breaks than me because they're white and I'm not. That's the undercurrent tone there, basically. Now, she says, how lucky and fortunate I have been in my career coming up in a time where I was met with sparse opportunities that exist for young Latina actresses. Well, at least she got the pronoun right there. Much less a lead that is self-determining and is not represented as a poor immigrant criminal or a hypersexualized Latina. Gee, I wonder who she's talking about. And just for that, America, I'm slapping a picture right here of Miss Salma Hayek in her absolute prime and her boobies filling up the screen. Sounds like somebody's still bitter, very activist with her opinions. Of course, someone like me will take notice and make a video about it. Many other people won't do that, but honestly, America Ferrera, can you just do one thing and one thing only? Just act in front of the camera, love, and shut the F up because no one really cares. There are many opportunities out there if you want to go and get them. And hang on a second. How much less fun life would be if you weren't met with obstacles along the way? Because it's all about the journey, right, folks? You know, when Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Lion all skipped along the yellow brick road, do you think it was going to be an easy journey for those people to get to meet the wizard in the end? They were met with obstructions, weren't they?
Hello, Doctor.
Hello.
Oh! Doctor, is this really necessary?
Oh, yes. Just a little bit more. That's it. Thank you.
But of course now, my girlfriend, Rachel Zegler, because honestly, one night with me and she'll be a completely different person altogether. But this was a news story from the 22nd of November, so obviously before American Thanksgiving, she apparently is going to sue Sony and Paramount and other studios for firing her. How dare you fire me? I am a jobbing actress. I have she, they pronouns in my Twitter bio. How dare you fire me? It's a really strange story because apparently her management are thinking of the idea of going to Paramount and Disney, maybe even, and saying to them, we're going to sue you because you don't want to hire our brilliant actress anymore. The same actress who, by the way, I mean, it's an interesting story, isn't it? Because she sat there, and I mean, it's a celebrated clip, isn't it? Where she talks about the 1937 Snow White, evidently so, being a really trashy movie. Well, we all know it's actually a really fantastic and significant animated film. So she was doing that, and it was really funny because it took people a while to wake up to that, or woke up to that, and realize exactly what she was doing, berating that classic movie, starring in a live action film that was very diverse, and all of a sudden now, not so diverse. But I think Miss Zegler has to realize one thing. It could be brave and bold that she's going to do this. I don't think she's going to go through with it, but there's a rule in Hollywood. You're never bigger than the studio. The studio is bigger than you. I mean, Tom Cruise, for a short while, seemed to reverse that on his head because he was the star that could use his own salary that he makes from the Mission Impossible films and reinvest it into another MI film with bigger stunts. But of course, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, I enjoyed the film, but I will admit the villain as played by Isai Morales, there you go, positive Latino representation right there, ladies and gentlemen, as the AI baddie, wasn't really a strong point of the film. Everything else was great. Haley Atwell, of course, for two obvious reasons, was fantastic. But apart from that, yeah, I hope when Mission Impossible 8 comes out next year, that it's going to go out with an absolute bang. It needs to. But I guess now, in that case, because Tom Cruise can deliver the goods, maybe Paramount are saying, told you, Tom, we're still bigger than you. So I'm curious to see how this Rachel Zegler situation goes. I think it's actually going to ruin her career if she does go ahead. And she's got a really good agent. They'll say to her, Rachel, darling, just shut the fuck up, do your acting, and stop putting out messages out there that you're going to sue Paramount, Sony, and Disney, because it just won't wash water well with anybody. Something else of, oh God, wow. My Doctor Who video, by the way, I've got to talk about this really quickly. So people got really mad in this, and I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. So, you know, something I would mention about this video, I mean, it's gotten great views. When I uploaded this originally, it had like 145 views. That was on the Tuesday. Kind of let it go, and then that was it. And then all of a sudden, 2 days ago, I checked it was at nearly 3,000 views. Insane. Mostly positive comments. Of course, you had the one or two bits of verbal diarrhea in there. People trying to correct me, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to go back and course correct myself on things I said about the equity card and how it's earned. You know, I had someone type in a 4 or 5 page bulleted essay on things that were wrong about what I said. Despite that, people still watched my video. Okay, so I don't know what their problem was. And then you had someone who's talked about that, oh, your thumbnail is so disgusting. quite clearly having not seen the rest of the thumbnails on my channel. So for you, sir or madam, here's some of my greatest tits. And you're correct, because that is the running theme of my thumbnails for 2023. And it will continue into 2024 and beyond. But back to this article here. Doctor Who's ratings the worst of David Tennant's career. Tenant, Russell T Davies and Catherine Tate have sold out their fans. And they know exactly what they're doing. Matt McGloin, give this gentleman an absolute rise. He's absolutely correct. Of course they know what they're doing, and I'm going to get to something about that in a minute actually. Let's stand up and give a big round of woke applause to RTD, retarded, David Tennant and Catherine Tate for continuing to ruin Doctor Who. The recent special that aired on Thursday happens to be the worst rated Doctor Who episode. I think Thursday, because it's a different part of the world. They have sold out. It's a big F you to fans. That's absolutely spot on. That's what it is. I mean, you have Yasmin Finney with the worst acting ever. And it goes back to that dialogue I saw in my video for Doctor Pooh, where I talked about actors and actresses earning their equity cards. Clearly, if Yasmin Finney was very, very talented, yeah, sure, they wouldn't need to get that, but, you know, as it stands with the acting rules these days, you don't need an equity card. You can just pretty much qualify at a drama school and go and make a drama queen out of yourself in front of a camera. And yes, Yasmin Finney, what has he earned to be in front of the camera? Just their gender reassignment and the fact they're stunning and brave. Russell T Davies saw that and thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to cast you as my new, well, partially empowered daughter now, because Catherine Tate's Donna Noble has transferred some of her power onto you, and apparently it now gives you the excuse to berate a biological male like David Tennant and his Doctor Who. Now, funny enough, some people said to me, dude, didn't you realize Tennant has been a wokester, an ideologue for a long time? I'm like, no, because I don't always pay attention to an actor that I generally had liked their political viewpoints. I mean, Simon Pegg thought She-Hulk was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and that you'd like to marry Tatiana Maslany. Well, personally, I like to marry these CGI She-Hulks she played, because I was a lot more fitted than she was. Doctor Who, woker than ever. I'm not surprised. Oh, God, Jesus. I've only just seen this. Oh my gosh, the new Doctor, Shoot Me Gatwa, in his reprisal as Richard Roundtree, the late Richard Roundtree as Shaft. I gotta say, at least his female assistant is really, really fit. Would I watch it for her? If I can edit his scenes out of the moments, yes, of course I would. But there you have it. Yes, the gay Rwandan Scottish bloke who thinks he can play it straight and clearly is doing a terrible task of it. But I got to draw your attention very quickly to this as well, folks, just to illustrate how much of a woke ideologue Mr. David Tennant actually is. Everything looks quite innocent here until you realise that the t-shirt he's wearing, which, by the way, he's kind of obscuring with a double-breasted suit. By the way, double-breasted suits have been out of fashion pre-2005. But here you can see this t-shirt, Leave Trans Kids Alone. Do you think if they re-released... I better not say that. Actually, I will say it. Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall. Yeah, do you wonder if they might somehow tinker with those lyrics with AI and say something else? So there's one instance, and here's another instance where he's taking his family to the first look at the new revamped TARDIS for the new Doctor Who episode. And one of the kids is wearing, well, one of his children is wearing a t-shirt that says, let's get this straight, I'm not. Huh? What? Social engineering, folks, of your children. Marlon Wayans recently put some weird post on Twitter that his son is now a daughter. They've transitioned, and the ignorance there was that the fact that he's the parent who should have accepted their child's transitioning. Oh my God. Is all I can say. Thank God I'm the Amiga man. I'm the last normal man on Earth, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to join me in my quest against the fight, against all the woke, boring stuff out there, all the overblown diversity nonsense you don't need, I'm all for it. Just don't overdo it. Can I just put on a TV or YouTube without seeing diverse person first thing you see in an advert? No, I don't want to see that. I'm bored, I'm sick, I'm tired of it. But on the other hand, I'm all those things, but I find it absolutely hysterical because it makes me create content for you boys and girls out there. So ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this roundup of the news this week, leave a like below, smash that subscribe button, get me over 3,000 before Christmas. But that'll be a lovely present to have. And by the way, folks, I will have an announcement for you probably at the beginning of the new year, the first week of January, regarding my station. I keep thinking I'm in radio again, with my YouTube channel going forward. And next Tuesday, the 5th of December, yes, we've got a Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer reveal. I'll probably do a reaction to that. I've got my theories about it as well. And in the evening, I'm going to see probably the biggest film of the year. And I'm going to a paid preview. And hopefully the next day, I'll give you an actual review about this movie. Everybody's saying how great it is. I can't give away any more, but you probably suspect what it is. And I'm just a big fan of this franchise.
Spending money, but you'll be losing money since you're not able to use your car for work.
Well, I don't know about you, and I have no idea what she's babbling on about regarding turnarounds. But if, like me, you enjoyed this video today, make sure you give this a like and make sure you stop heaving your bosoms, love, because honestly, it's giving me such a headache. If you're me, and if I were you, you better come back for the next video.